Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to the nightcap of our restreamed races for the Highway to the Threemus Zone. My name is Gambit017, and I am joined here in the commentary booth tonight by Dijon Ketchup. How are you doing tonight?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other. No,
Uh,
but really, I'm happy to be here.
that's good to hear. Well, I'm looking forward to a very fun race. We have Konkers versus pmakfal, both sitting at 1-1. So, winners of this race is going to go on to the Magma Group stage. The loser will fall down into that hook route. Uh, Interesting set of objectives we have for tonight.
Yeah, these are you've got a wide variety going on here. And that giant of Babel just really wants to happen this tournament. It keeps popping up.
One day someone will get it. One day. Maybe not today, but one day. But those other three are very, very much Troya, almost specific ones, with open the treasury and then break the Dark Elf spell with Twin Harp. So find that Twin Harp, find that Earth Crystal, and you can get a twofer right there.
Mm-hmm. Especially if one leads to the other. Well, more like Twin Harp would lead to Earth Crystal, but...
Yeah, will we have any vanilla in this seed whatsoever? We will find out. Well, it looks like we have a Porum start. So at least we have a white mage right off the bat. That's going to be a very nice addition to the team. Be interesting to see who she gets paired up with today.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's someone who can do some hitting, though.
Oh, so someone like maybe an Edward with the spoon?
Yeah, we can go with that. Let's do Edward and Spoon start.
That would be the dream. We should be getting underway here very shortly. Sorry, I was trying to take a look and see which group this is. This is the Titan group. The other two runners of this group, Moonblade's Wolf, has already gone 3-0 and stamped their ticket straight to the tables. And they did have one runner from their group drop out, so gave everybody the kind of the instant win, which is what led our two runners to a 1-1 record here.
Yep, so if I'm not mistaken, that would be the last match of this group.
That would be correct. And it looks like we are getting started. So let's see who that second character is.
Who's that Pokemon?
That is a ninja.
That is a good start.
Just a lunar staff, so no help there. It'll be nice for the Porum, though. That's going to give her healing abilities, even early game, a nice little boost. But that ninja's going to carry you through this overworld.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Edge start, definitely not shabby.
It's going to be interesting to see where the runners decide to go first. With that ninja start, do you just go straight for a key item location, take on a boss? Or do you still go take a more standard looting pattern to start with?
Yep, there's also the possibility of checking shops first.
Looks like pmakfal is going to go straight into Mysidia, see who our characters are there, where Konkers is heading straight into Baron, going to loot and check our in-character, which looks like it is going to be another Edge with a bonus round.
Wow.
Wait, what's better than one ninja? Two ninjas.
Double ninja all the way across the seed. What does it mean?
Meanwhile, pmakfal finding a Rosa and Kane in Mysidia. That is a nice set of pickups there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, having that Rosa means that Porum probably going to be a bit more disposable later on in the seed.
True, but Konkers getting through Threemus, finding Calbrina as the second fight. That is almost as free can be with Edge in your party. One flame should help, but that might not be enough to take the back dolls, and there's the big doll.
Yeah, just got the... Ooh, yeah, just got the red ones, and now we've got big baby.
But maybe not quite as free as we were hoping. But if Konkers can get through this, pick up that second ninja, and especially getting Threemus plus the spot out of the way real fast.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, looks like a reset there.
Yeah, the glance came out, hit Edge, and taking Edge away from you, that's all the damage you were doing in this fight. That was an instant reset.
And PMAK finding an Edward over in the Watery Pass.
So he goes ahead, takes the Edward, and is going to go ahead and do a little bit of extra looting in the Watery Pass. It's, with T Wildish on, it's not a bad idea, because you can get some very, very good loot from Watery Pass, since it's a lesser looted location. However, in this case, it was only a couple of Drain Swords.
Yeah, sometimes you take the risk and doesn't really pay off a whole lot.
Well, worst case scenario, Kang can put one on and Drain Sword your way through a boss, and if it gets even worse, Edge can throw him.
That's true.
So meanwhile, Konkers, having taken the white to Calbrina, decides to go do a little bit of looting, taking out the stuff in Dampian.
Yeah, some decent stuff to find early on.
If either runner can find a good ninja sword for that Edge, that might be the difference in this early game.
Yeah, PMAK found another lunar in Antlion Cave.
Both of you might make this with lunar staffs. That's not bad.
And Konkers getting Iridia.
Let me see if Konkers goes straight to Hobbs and takes a look at what the Hobbs spell is for that Iridia immediately. Oh, there's a fun ball hung in the Antlion Cave.
Yep. Wyvern and Antlion.
pmakfal gets the Starmail off on Edge and on Kane. Gets Edward hidden. Looks like should be fine to get through this fight.
And with the amount of health that Reflect should, it just wiped it out. If you're gonna find Wyvern, this is a pretty good spot to do it.
It gets rewarded with a pink tail, which is not really going to help us too much right here, but it is one key item on the way to 10.
Konkers is on his way to the surprise Wyvern.
As much as it is a surprise, I'm sure both our runners are going to be breathing a sigh of relief that this is where it is and not anywhere else.
Yeah. Like, would have been real mean if it was in one of those giant battle slots.
Alternate elements, so much fun. Meanwhile, pmakfal going up Mount Hobbs finds a vanilla gang, guarded by a Mylon of some sort. Takes him into the side and says, "Yeah, I'll take this fight."
And kinda swap that Edward for the Yang. Yep, Mylon Z.
Mylon, you're on the wrong mountain on the wrong bridge.
It's okay. He got lost. It happens to the best of us.
At least his talk of falling into a deeper being is somewhat accurate on top of this mountain.
Yeah. But it's a lucky thing for both of our runners here that the starter pack that you get when you begin the run uh, comes with some Star Veils, so they didn't have to worry about having them for the Wyvern fight.
Their starting Star Veils is a big thing right there. Even though Double Edges might have been able to take out Wyvern before it can have a chance to Mega Nuke, but better be safe than sorry.
Yeah, and in a spot like that, the Star Veil is going to be the guarantee.
Very true. pmakfal made sure to get a life potion off on their Rosa to get them the XP from that fight, giving them Cure 2, kind of getting Rosa up and somewhat online early on. With Palom still down, would be interesting to see if they just leave Palom as a pseudo anchor for right now.
Well, there's their silk webs, and there's also vampires. If they end up going for the vampire strat that's been popping up recently-ish.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good strat. I've seen a couple of racers use it to take on Threemus at a pretty low level, and it seems to be gaining a lot of traction within the community. It's good to see different ways of doing Threemus kind of prop up because of this tournament.
Yeah, it's it's a bit of a longer strat, but it also replaces a lot of grinding time. King and
Meanwhile,
Queen Evelyn raiding for Bull.
Yeah, this is not a fight you really want to see here. This is absolutely free, and you'd rather it be somewhere else.
Konkers about to hit that same fight.
It's good to see that neither of our runners are the fade for bull type of runners. They're both going here, second check, going ahead, seeing what's up here instead of fading it until after they get some kind of underground access for a single dip.
Yeah, there's definitely been a handful of races that I've seen in this tournament so far where someone will fade for bull and that'll come back to bite them because there was something important there.
I have to admit, I got lucky in both of my tournament races, and I was able to fade for bull and did not bite me. So I'll take that and knock on wood somewhere. An Artemis bow for defending for bull. That's going to be nice. Throws that immediately on Porum, and we have an online damage-dealing child.
Yeah, Artemis bow is definitely a good thing to have if you've got a Porum or a Rosa. And of course, pmakfal has both.
And then finding a Thunderclaw in that pot there in the Sheila's Tower level 1, that's going to be a huge pickup. That Thunderclaw can be the difference between beating a nasty boss in a nasty spot sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely a share of bosses that are vulnerable to lightning. And Konkers also finding that Thunderclaw.
So pmakfal heading into Baron. It's going to be interesting to see if they immediately see that Demus and decide to take that fight right away. And Konkers just now remembering, hey, I have Iridia. Let's check the spell, shall we?
It's definitely a forgettable check, for sure.
That is Ramuth, or sorry, Indra, as it is called here in FF4.
PMAK also gonna flame the Calbrenna dolls. Wiped out the front row, but hasn't Oh, there it is.
We have our second big doll sighting of the season. Meanwhile, Konkers sees the Vanilla Yang, sees the Mylon, says, no, I'm good. I don't really want Yang. I'm just going to walk back down this mountain.
Yeah, pmakfal has an advantage in this fight over Konkers when he attempted it earlier, having a full party and a few more levels.
Yeah, Konkers just now heading over to Mysidia to grab the two characters there. It's going to get rewarded with that Kane and Rosa.
And there goes the Calbrenna doll.
And that is a pass. So we now have Threemus access. We just don't have the crystal yet.
Yeah. But, you know, unless for some reason one of our key items is up on the moon, there's not a whole lot of reason to go there. Looks like Konkers is going to sell some things to buy the Sylph summon that he found in the shop. Oh, and that's a hook that Rydia's mom had. So, that's potential underground access.
Yeah, getting that hook from Threemus is very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if pmakfal decides to run up Ordeals, just see if there's a magma key up there.
Yeah, because if you can find a magma key, you know, that's a whole lot quicker to get underground. So everybody wants to avoid taking the hook route if they absolutely possibly can.
And I looked away. Who was the character we found on Ordeals?
It was a Porum.
It was another Porum? Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the twins.
I saw a Porum get dismissed, and I didn't know he was dismissing the one he had in his party already or a new one.
Yeah, I saw one of the twins, but didn't catch which one it was. But our tracker, Bad Karma, pointed it out.
Yes, definitely want to give a special shout out to Bad Karma doing the tracking today, and Oscar424 doing the restream. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So definitely give them love as well, please.
And we've got an Ashura at the first spot of Ordeals.
Looks like Konkers is going to kind of sit and wait and try to do lifelock strats to get through, which is not a bad idea. This doesn't have too high physical attack. pmakfal going to go ahead and turn that pink tail in.
And it could give him an advantage of a good piece of equipment.
Oh, the Artemis bow.
Well, he's at least got a use for it, so.
It's very, very true.
as long as he's here, it looks like he's gonna check the shop. Find some Cure 2s.
It's a good pickup for early game right here, trying to get those Cure 2s just so you can have a way to heal up that doesn't involve using your MP for your White Mage. I like what pmakfal is doing, taking the hovercraft with him, dropping it off into the deals, and then still climbing it, going, okay, I need this later, but I don't want it to be far, so let's just bring it with me, drop it. It takes all of a couple seconds.
Yeah, because if you get all the way up to Ordeals and there's no magma key, you know, you want to have that hovercraft nearby. pmakfal also going to dismiss the free Porum.
With Rose in your party, I can understand why.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't mind having 2 White Mages in my team. It makes life a lot simpler, but 1 White Mage is more than enough at this current point.
Plus, we also started with Porum, so if you wanted Porum, you already had Porum.
Yes, but what about second Porum?
Oh, I don't think I know about second Porum.
So Konkers, I think, found... I don't remember if they found the Sylph Summon in a chest somewhere or in a shop, but using it immediately to get rid of that Sylph spell, it's going to make, hopefully, this fight a lot easier.
Sylph was in a shop. I remember them selling I remember him selling a bunch of stuff in order to buy it. I don't remember which shop it was, though.
Unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken, this is not the fight you want to see to try to cast Sylph. Because if I remember correctly, Pale Dave was going to counter any summon with Quake, correct?
Yeah. That's, and you're... Ooh.
Well, Edge survived, but Conker said, yeah, no, let's try this again.
Yeah, take 2. So, yeah, using Sylph here doesn't even give you the advantage of not using MP, because the latest version of the randomizer fixed that glitch, and we don't have the flag restoring it as part of this tournament, I believe.
Sylph flag is actually on for this stage of the tournament.
Oh, alright, well then...
Yeah,
you learn new things every day.
Yeah, Sylph flag is on for actually both group and table stages, so... The one good thing about Rydia, as we just saw on pmakfal's screen, is she learns Warp very early. Would you like to explain why the spell Warp is going to become a good thing later on?
Yes, so, in the realm of glitches, the way that this game was programmed, you know, a lot of older games, they have limited space, especially since this was an early SNES game, so they had much smaller cartridges back then, like data size-wise, not physically. So, underground in the Dwarf Castle, the Crystal Room, where you fight the boss, is the same room in the memory as the Crystal Room in the Sealed Cave. So, there's a quirk in the game where after you defeat the bosses in the Dwarf Castle, you can cast Warp immediately after, and it'll send you back into that room, but the game thinks that it's the one in the Sealed Cave, and you can grab that key item for free.
Yes, and thankfully in the group stages for this tournament, we have that glitch still enabled. So having a warp caster when you do dwarf castle is a very, very nice thing. In the meantime, both our runners have gone to that pale dim. Konkers went back, took a safety save, comes into the crystal room. We're about to find out what item we got here.
That's a Baron key, so no faster underground access.
And look at who we have in the crystal room.
Ha ha ha!
So here's the question. I remember pmakfal only used, I want to say, 1 or 2 star veils. How many star veils did Konkers use on that wyvern fight?
I remember him using 2. Because
He
he only
should
had
still-
3 party members and Rydia fainted.
We should still have 1 left, hopefully. 1 is all you need as long as you can get it off in time. Because unfortunately, even in this spot, that Golbez is going to be able to one-shot you with these spells.
Yes, everybody remembers that famous Beatles song, All You Need Is One. I think that's how that song goes.
The other thing to keep an eye out here as both runners take on this Golbez is Konkers went back and took the save. pmakfal did not. So if he does take a wipe, he's going to have to redo the Pale Dim fight.
Yeah, definitely, you know, he might be wishing, you know, now that he sees Golbez, that he had gone back.
In the meantime, Konkers does get the wall off on Rosa, so shouldn't be any problem here. Fire is hitting Edge, not doing too bad of damage. Should be able to get through this no problem.
Yeah, Golbez definitely not doing, you know, as much damage as you could typically see from him. And we see Golbez down on both sides about the same time.
Yeah, both runners making very quick work of that Golbez, getting through there. That is a well done, because that's a not fun place for Golbez to show up. One thing I want to point out too is both of these runners did ordeals with no Cecils and no Tellas in their party.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen them anywhere. But they at least know that if they find them further on in the seed, they'll already be online.
Very true. So at this point, wouldn't be surprised to see pmakfal make an immediate run to Eblin, and then Konkers more likely heading straight back to that Baron Inn to take those fights again. That being said, I wonder if the Konkers having to still do Baron Inn does not have that hook yet from that demist. Will that incentivize him to go ahead and complete the Baron Castle check as well?
And PMAK taking the scenic route, I guess. Looked like he was gonna go to Baron and do the Baron key route. See if it's a magma key or something. But
I just decided where he was on the map, and
yeah, it's easy to get disoriented on this map.
But pmakfal is going to give us our first look at the Eblin shop. A couple Hourglass 2s, elixirs. It's not too bad of a shop.
Yeah. It is a decent shop.
Answer question in chat. Yes, there are some chests that are randomly empty. We have the sparse 60% flag on, so only 60% of the flags chests are actually have loot in them.
And that's not counting the trapped chests.
Right, the trap chests will always be there. However, they are randomized, so they could be in any one of the chests if you see with something in it.
Konkers seems to be taking it slow on the Calprena fight. Possibly to avoid the big doll again.
Right, this time making sure to take out the back dolls first, and then queue up the flame with edge to take out the front ones. Gets through it this time. Going to get rewarded with that other edge. Get rewarded with the pass, and most importantly, get rewarded with that Threemus check for that hook.
Yep, Baron Inn is full of value, this seed.
And takes the second edge over the poor, which I do not disagree with at all. That is a blue robe. Is that going to be Water Hag or Gauntlet?
Yeah, that's gonna be...
And Bad Karma Tracker pointing out that we actually found the Alt Gauntlet in the Waterfall boss spot, so that's going to be a Water Hag.
Alright. So, Water Hag, another pretty free fight.
We were pointing out that we believe it was Konkers that checked that. Don't think pmakfal did. So he might not actually know which one it is, but Konkers will know when he gets down there.
pmakfal finding the Mad Ogre trapped chest. Gonna instantly hourglass them to, stop them. And possibly gonna do the life glitch to grind.
It's not a bad idea right here. Let's get some more levels on that Rydia and that Rosa.
Yeah, it looks like it. Sorry, go ahead.
Konker's doing exactly what I thought he would do when given a chance to have Baron, just from one stop it, do Baron in and immediately go into the castle.
Yep. And he doesn't have the hook yet, so... And yeah, pmakfal definitely doing life glitch strats. Do you want to explain how those go?
Well, in the game, if you cast life on an enemy after you kill them, it will revive the enemy. However, it revives them at 0 HP, or 0 vitality, so they just instantly die again. So, in that case, the game thinks you've killed them twice, so it'll give you the XP for killing them twice, even though you only actually killed them once.
Yeah, and that's a very useful grinding strategy.
Yeah, it could come into play a lot later on if we find that Tella, for instance, and we get to that complete Giant of Babel objective, finding a free boss such as Dark Imps or Baron Guards, for instance, in the element spot, you can actually use spells such as Size or Toad, get them tiny where they're not of any type of threat whatsoever, and then do a Life 2 grind, where instead of bringing them back at 0 vitality, Life 2 brings them back at full HP, and just grind over and over and over on them.
Konker's fighting the Mega Sisters over in the Baron spot that we got the sneak preview of at the very beginning.
Yep, the Baigan spot is 3 sisters in a trench coat today. I am looking forward to seeing who pmakfal finds in the King Queen Evelyn spot. If we find Valvalis, we'll immediately know there's another way underground. We've seen Golbez, we've seen Wyvern. Those are the other two that can't block underground access, but a Valvalis could. So Valvalis at King Queen Evelyn means there's a magma key in play on the overworld somewhere. But instead we have the Kaipo guards, which are still going to hurt, but are not necessarily that threatening.
A relatively free-ish fight. On Konkers' side, Odin getting confused on which throne he's supposed to sit on in the Baron Castle.
Odin just decided to come upstairs today. I like the move Konkers just did. Was thinking about casting Sylph and realized, hey, I've got Indra, which is a thunder-based summon. That'll do some extra damage for certain. Let's go ahead and toss that out.
Yeah. In a fight where the Thunderclaw we found earlier would come in handy. And that's an Odin down.
I like how we had simultaneous Indra castings on both screens in two different fights there for a second. pmakfal is through this Kaipo Guards fight, doing some extra hits on the officer. Not really going to matter here because the officer's just going to run away and there's no HP anyway. Edward hiding in Baron Castle today, probably not going to take you. Bye, Edward, we love you, but you're not for this party.
Yeah, Edward keeps popping up saying, "Can I be in your group too?"
pmakfal going to go ahead and take the safety save just in case it is that gauntlet, since we know it's not. Going to be a little bit unfounded, but definitely better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, definitely. That's the move I would make, but I also just save a lot.
It is never a bad idea to save often. I've been known to save after making a save. Well, Konkers is rewarded.
Yep.
That is a magma key. Konkers is going to get rewarded for not checking this Threemus first, and our runners, even taking split paths, are going to get underground at about the same time.
Yeah, that's a no going underground, or no going through the hook route for Konkers.
That is amazing, and I love to see it. Oscar, you are officially my new favorite seed roller. Make sure you roll my seed when I get to the hook, our magma group, okay?
pmakfal getting through that easy water hag fight.
I'm just going to run through, find the unfortunate pitfall in the crystal room that you think one of these days, one of these runners will be able to miss, but not today.
Those darn Animal Crossing villagers. Keep burying it there.
And pmakfal not giving us a sneak peek at who's atop the tower, so we're going to have to find out the hard way if someone does tower at some point. Konkers tossing the key down the well about the same time that pmakfal is launching the Falcon. And about 36.5 minutes in, both our runners have underground access.
So it'll be fun to see what we find down there.
pmakfal taking the quick shot down to Tamra. Gonna do a little bit more looting. Maybe give us a job dwarf check. A certified public accountant.
CPA for short.
I guess if anyone at this point needs a reminder to get their taxes done, you're probably a little too late.
Oh, and we found the location of Starvales on pmakfal's side. Oh, Konkers got stuck by some of the true final bosses in this game. The NPCs on the map that won't let you move through the one space you need to.
The NPCs are always fun as a final boss because they just want to block your way at all times.
Yeah, there was a race the other day where one of the Kaipo NPCs was the Z Sprite.
Yeah, Kaipo Miss and Job Dwarf Miss are two of the fun Z sprites we have in the Z pool, but we'll get into that more later.
pmakfal going straight for the Fey March, while Konkers is going for Dwarf Castle, seeing we've got a Karate Man in the first boss spot.
pmakfal finding sirens in that Feymarch shop. That is a huge find.
Those are good for your grind later on.
Karate Man in his first spot in Dwarf Castle is going to be a little bit slow, but not necessarily too threatening, especially with Rosa being able to cast Cure 2. Those kicks aren't doing that much damage. Those hits are only doing about 300 to those front row edges. Sylph's going to also help keep everybody healed up.
And pmakfal checking those King and Queen boss spots. The King spot is Dr. Luge, and there's a Lunar Sparkle in the Queen spot.
And Dr. Luge is not necessarily too bad in that spot. Balnab's going to hit like a truck if you give him the chance, but it's another spot that's weak to lightning. So that Thunderclaw on edge could probably take out Balnab before he can really get a punch in on your party.
Finds a sword underground to upgrade his edge.
I think I also saw either a boomerang or full moon, maybe both. Those are going to be able to back row glitch those edges, which will definitely make for an easier time later on.
Yeah, for Konkers moving on to the second boss. Got another Lunar Sparkle. Oh.
We defeat the gang, and he decides, okay, you've defeated me. I will join your party now.
And we've got the Plague.
So the Plague here is pretty much free, especially considering Rosa can cast Berserk. It could go for Berserk Strat Manips, but all honesty, with Riddy already down, cast a Life Potion, have him recount cast, attack with everybody else, and this fight ought to be over.
Yeah, there's a number of different ways you can approach this fight.
I should have started keeping count of how many times we're going to end a battle with Kane in the air, because that's at least the second time I think we've seen this seed.
It's like, sorry, Kane, we didn't need you. And we're about to see that warp glitch that we talked about earlier come into play.
As Konkers again, making sure that Rydia got up in that plague fight. They'll be able to just hop in, cast warp, do it immediately. That way they don't forget. And that is a nice find, as I don't think either of our runner has gone down into the Sylph Cave yet. Having that pan is going to mean only a single dip into Sylph.
Those are some freebies right there. Always check your freebies.
Heron Robe is our gift from Luca. Brings me into getting the shirt off of someone's back.
Decent piece of armor, considering you've got a Iridia and a Rosa.
That's an Ogre Axe from that pot there in Dwarf Castle. That's going to be very helpful later on.
pmakfal pulling up right behind and about to fight Plague.
Once again, gets you have defeated me. I will join your party. What do you mean you don't want me?
Konkers took a pause to think, it looks like.
Well, Konkers came straight to Dwarf Castle after coming underground. Defeated these two bosses. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go directly to Fame March, but no, instead they're going to go ahead and run those pan checks first.
Yeah, it's always a question of, do you get as many underground checks as you can before going back above ground, or getting the freebies out of the way and possibly saving you some work?
On this instance, we know that the Fame March chest was not a key item, so not going to get punished for fading that at all. Might be doing these checks to see about possibly doing something else in the overworld, get some more experience to try to see if they had the chance to one stop the Fame March, take out the free chest plus the two bosses in one go.
Yeah, both runners have some sirens. I'm not sure if they both found the shop with the sirens, but
No, Konkers has not gone down into the Fame March yet, so they have not found the sirens in that shop.
right. I think he does still have like one or two that he found, though.
The glass hat for bonking Yang with the pan today, that's going to make that Luge fight a little bit easier. Konkers immediately heading straight back to the Bull, going to get those Sheila checks. pmakfal doing the exact same thing, heading straight to Sylph Cave.
So, 45 minutes into this race, it's still a very close one.
Sheila won with some goods. That's an adamant.
And that is one half of that first objective.
Her rat tail in that second spot, that could turn into a legend sword, a twin harp, an earth crystal.
So basically another link in the freebie chain.
And the good news is Konkers has not checked that pink tail yet. So going to be able to check both tails at the same time.
Yep, goes straight to pick up that hovercraft.
I flew a little bit too far, had to come back. Oh, there's our spoon.
Good for the Edwards that we dismissed earlier, but unfortunately a dead end for this chain.
That is unfortunate, but both runners are running through it, so no time is going to be lost really by either runner here. It does leave us with a question: where's our progression? As far as I can think, we have 3 spots left that have not been checked. That's going to be top of tower, and then our 2 Feymarch bosses.
Yeah, we're pretty much down to Keyless Tower or King and Queen. And
So,
I have no doubt that with a little bit of grinding, both of these runners could take on Lugay.
you would not be surprised, at least on Konker's side, to see him head straight to Feymarch next, since he has not gone down there yet. Find those sirens, find those bosses. pmakfal, I'm wondering, since he has not run Baron yet, if he's going to head straight over to Baron here after turning the Rat Tail and start doing that check.
Also remember that Konkers took the magma key to get down here, so he doesn't know what's in that hook route.
True, but since we've already found Threemus, there's no real need to find out or check what's down there. So, to answer your question in chat, yes, Threemus was the first boss in Baron Inn. It gave us the hook, which was a nice little red herring, since we got the Baron key from Ordeals, which gave us the magma key.
pmakfal also has not done Baron yet, so he might go there while he's still up above ground.
Yep, and that's exactly where he's heading, which in the scheme of things, knowing what you know, that's exactly what I would do in that situation either. It's like, I've got this Baron key, I have not run this check yet, let's go ahead and run it now since I'm already above ground, especially considering the fact that, my only other options are those 2 Feymarch bosses or top of tower. Let's do this check first, so at least it opens up the possibility of the Odin spot or something else later on.
Yes, which I don't think Konkers did the Odin spot either.
No, Konkers did not even go peek it. He got that magma key and immediately ran to go take it underground.
So that's also another spot progression could be hiding.
Yeah, Konker's doing exactly what I would do in this situation. Head to that Feymarch. So 1 freebie left you have not checked. We'll probably be very, very happy to see those sirens. Pick up a couple. Wouldn't be surprised at the levels he's got and the party he has if he goes ahead and makes at least an attempt at that Lugay.
Yeah.
I'm more curious as to what Lunar Sparkle we have in that Shura spot.
Yeah, that's... So we found Plague, we found Wyvern.
We found Pale Dim.
So that leaves us...
D-Lunars and Ogo, I believe.
Yeah. So it could be D-Lunars, could be the Nope Rope. I don't know, which one are you hoping it is?
In that spot, I think I'm more hoping for Ogo Pogo as a watcher and commentator, because that would be the more interesting fight. The D-Lunars there, the Ashura spot is the lesser of the two physical spots, so those D-Lunars, while they would be rude, would not be nearly as bad as Ogo would be.
Right. And has Konkers or pmakfal, have either of their roses learned wall yet?
I do not believe they have, no. I don't think either of their roses are high enough level with wall.
I know one of them found star veils in his shop, but I don't remember which one.
I believe they both have. I believe they were in Tomra, I believe.
Because one possible strat for D-Lunars is, of course, trying to reflect the breath spell and turn them into frogs.
Yeah, that could be an interesting find here to see if we go for that type of strat, if it is in fact the D-Lunars. But for right now, we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
pmakfal getting through those Maggot Sisters, takes out the three sisters in the trench coat in the Maggot spot. Looks like they're still looking for some loot, going around checking chests. Finds a ribbon. That's going to be a nice pickup.
Yeah, the kamikaze can also be useful later on in certain circumstances, such as if you pick up a character that you want to use as an anchor.
Konkers taking one look at those two bosses, saying nope, and exiting on out.
pmakfal found a longsword. There's also a coffin that would be useful for grinding.
That coffin will give you at least one free egg fight, or it could hold on to it for a situation if you find the Baron Guard somewhere or the Dark Imps. Use it one of those.
Right, because those don't have the boss bit.
Meantime, Konkers is climbing the Tower of Babel. It's going to give us our keyless tower check.
It's always interesting when it comes down to keyless tower.
So pmakfal finding Odin on the throne should make quick work of this. It will be interesting to see what he does with the character, since we know this is an Edward. pmakfal has the spoon. Do you take Edward?
He does have a pretty good party setup as it is right now, but I could see him replacing the Rydia.
That was my thought, was do you get rid of, say, Rydia for Edward? Get that spoon in that party, but pmakfal says, nope, I'm good with my party. Thank you very much. Go away.
Hi, Kinazo.
There's one angry turtle sitting on top of the tower. And this is, in my opinion, one of the worst spots to find him, because the physical attack, magic attack here is not bad, but Kanazo's main attack is that wave, which takes off percentage based off of Kanazo's hit points, and this spot has a high hit point value.
Yep.
So this is another spot where that Thunderclaw would come in very, very handy.
pmakfal probably kicking himself for not checking Baron before going underground.
Yeah, I'm sure looking at that, he probably feels very, very behind right now going, if my opponent checked this and I did the hook route, not even thinking about it, then I am probably behind. But in all actuality, they're really still anyone's game for the most part. They've done mostly the same checks. This is really the first major difference in routing here.
Yeah, pmakfal going straight for that underground throne.
And there's our Valvalis.
Not gonna deal with that one apparently.
I don't blame him right there. The levels they're at right now, my Valvalis is definitely doable. That would be a long and tedious fight. Best to go back, grind some, and then come back.
Yeah, Valvalis is not a fun boss under the best of circumstances, so... Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do some egg grinding first.
At this point, you kind of feel bad because you're sitting at 2, 4, 6, 8 key items. You'd really like to have 2 more so you get that double experience, but right now your options are that Valvalis, top of tower, or those Feymarch bosses, and any of those options at this party you feel like you just need some more levels.
Yeah. So after this grind, it'll be interesting to see if he wants to take on Lugae while he's down here, or go back up to Valvalis.
Konkers ends up taking a second wipe to that Kanazo. It's going to go check Baron in, or sorry, not Baron in, Odin's spot. Probably see that Valvalis and go, that Kanazo is probably the better of these 2 choices.
Kanazo's not that bad of an element.
I think I've noticed Konkers has not equipped the Thunderclaw on Edge in either of the 2 fights he took against that Kanazo. I'm wondering if he's completely forgotten he has it in his inventory, or if at some point he may have sold it off.
Yeah. It looks like Konker's gonna actually give Val a shot.
I mean, you do have the cane, so you have the ability to get her out of tornado form.
Yeah, the cane is definitely a good thing to have here.
And both these edges will be able to pierce through the tornado with physical attacks. The only problem is, in this spot, that Valvalis is going to hit pretty hard, and this is still a pretty squishy party at the current moment.
Yeah, like, one attack doing 700 some odd damage to Kane.
In the meantime, our runners have pretty much switched spots. pmakfal deciding I don't want to deal with that Valvalis, has decided to come to the top of the towers, about to find that lovely Kanazo. Konkers, after taking the wipes to the Kanazo, has decided, yeah, I'm going to take on this Valvalis. So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who ends up taking out what, and if the progression's gonna be behind either of these.
I like that Konkers just threw the spoon at Valvalis. It's one of the things.
Yeah.
You want to save it. I understand the need to save it for a harder fight, such as a Z fight. But at this point, when you're running out of locations to check, take the opportunity, toss it now.
Yeah, that 7k is nothing to scoff at.
In the meantime, pmakfal got a lit 2 queued up. The question is it going to be in time to stop the wave, or was the wave already queued?
Yeah, the timing on that is really tough. Um, Especially if if you're on a higher battle speed, which I don't know if. Oh, there's that wave.
Yeah, but it's done just enough damage that everyone's still alive. And at this point, that should be able to get you through.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be okay on this fight, at least for now.
That board AI, just knowing to target Konkers Rydia, is taking it down every time so far.
Kinatsu is one of those fights that I'm not very good at because you have to just know when you need to queue up that lightning attack.
Yeah, again, doesn't get it off in time. The wave comes out. Rosa, though, just straight up dodging the wave, saying, yeah, I don't feel like getting my hair wet today. We're good.
It's like if you ever look at Pokemon Stadium and then one of them uses Surf and it misses, even though they're covered in water.
Konkers is doing pretty well with this Valvalis fight. Has a rhythm going. Everybody's pretty much low HP, but definitely managing the flow of this battle very well. In the meantime, pmakfal has gotten Kanazo to hide in his shell.
Yeah, Konkers timing those jumps pretty well so that, she goes back into Tornado while Kane is in the air. And takes down Val.
Well done by Konkers. Let's see if he is going to be rewarded for this. That is value. That is the Earth Crystal.
Yep. That is a one step towards a pretty easy objective. Just has to go straight to Troya and he's got an objective done.
So here now I'm hoping that this Kanazo is hiding the Twin Harp, because that would just be hilarious.
You're right. So, my guess, maybe since Konkers, if he goes over to Troya to open the treasury, might do Zot. Or does Zot give you a check? I forget.
It's 2 bosses and 1 key item check.
1 key item.
It
Okay.
gives you a full heal at the end of it too. Plus 2 characters. But pmakfal gets through that Kanazo and gets a Bahamut summon. It's going to be nice for that Rydia, because the Rydia now has a nice flamey dragon that she can call. But definitely not the value you're looking for.
Right. But that gives them a reason to keep Rydia, I guess.
Very true.
But, if I were in Konker's situation, I think I would rather do Zot than any of those bosses that he knows are underground.
I'd agree. I'd say at this point, run the tower, see what's up here. If it's some sort of progression, follow this chain. And if it's not, then you come back down and then you worry about, okay, do I want to take on this Kanazo again? Do I want to go take out the Feymarch bosses? How do I want to proceed?
Alright, are we gonna raid that treasury?
Well, first, we're going to light up number 4 on our objective tracker, as Konkers is the first one to complete an objective with this seed. And unfortunately, in doing so, he's going to have to fight the hardest boss of the game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the inventory boss.
I'm just gonna stick the things he doesn't want in that chest. Got a wizard shirt. Oh, Masa.
Black shirt I saw. another glass helm, a Stardust Rod is going to be great for that Rydia.
And Hourglass 2, I think there's still some things that it could be useful for.
Yeah, I'd give this treasury about a 6 out of 10. It's the Masamune, the Stardust Rod, it's going to be great for 2 of our characters. The Hourglass is a situational thing. The Black Robe and Glass Helmet will be a very nice addition to gear, but could have still had some nicer stuff.
I'm going to go with a 7 because I'm giving it that extra point for objective number 4.
That's a fair point. Reach, we're also pointing out that pmakfal is probably not going to enjoy seeing a free Bahamut summon in that treasury after having to fight that Kinazo for the one that he got. But hey, that'll be extra money, which can be used to buy more Star Veils later, or not Star Veils, Sirens later on if you need them.
Yeah, for sure. Probably gonna be frustrating along the lines of the frustration he probably felt finding that magma key.
Yeah, this race is really taking the divergence here with them switching spots on that Kanazo and Balbalis fights. It's led Konkers up this chain into the Tower of Zot, whereas pmakfal has decided to just grind and take on these Feymarch bosses, which, again, the way this randomizer works really leads to a lot of different divergent paths. It can ultimately lead you back to the same spot. And depending on what these 2 runners find, one of them could grab a huge lead here, or we could just find absolutely nothing in these fights and get an impasse.
Yeah. We're starting to get into a point where I'm curious what they're going to anchor with. And I don't think either one has found a curse ring, have they?
I have not seen a curse ring. I will admit I haven't been keeping very high track of these shops, but I have not seen one, so I don't think we have one at the current moment.
Konkers finds a Dark Elf in the first Zot slot. And pmakfal going after that Luge.
As I said, this Luge having the lightning weakness, if we still have that Thunderclaw, definitely going to be a lot easier for Edge to take on. Or we could just summon a big angry dragon to nuke it from space.
Yeah. It's the only way to be sure. So that's phase 1 of the fight down.
While Konkers got through Dark Elf at Magus Sisters, probably going to go back and save just to be safe. Going to use Bahamut here to go ahead and learn it with Rydia. And the good news about this second phase of Dr. Luge is it will not use any type of physical attacks. It only uses its beam and laser, which are percentage-based attacks. So at this point in this fight, you are pretty much not worried at all about this fight. You've got through it. That's a third edge there in Zot.
Find one more and you can make a square.
And here comes the question of the day. With vanilla agility, do you take this Cecil? And Konker says no, which I have to admit I agree with.
Yeah. Like, I think this far in, you only take him if you're gonna commit to him being an anchor and just keep him KO'd the whole time. Oh, speaking of Cecil.
And that's value down in the Feymarch is pmakfal gets the Legend Sword from that Luge fight.
So that's one objective he can complete now.
At this point, though, I think I agree with what he's doing. Cabin up, see if we can take on that second fight. Even though we've got one objective complete, we've still got 3 other objectives that he does not have the key items for yet. So,
And did you know that justice is not the only right in this world?
I did not, but maybe someday I'll see that.
Okay. pmakfal going to check the lunar sparkle.
It is just a D-lunar, so that's not necessarily too bad in this situation. You've got 2 ninjas who can use flame or can dart. You've got a dragoon who can jump. You've got a Rydia who can Bahamut, and then you've got a Rosa who can heal. This fight should be pretty trivial, all honesty.
And he's just got to clean out of his inventory by throwing stuff at the D-lunars.
And that's music from Earth Crystal. Konkers having a second objective ability to get at this point.
That is a chain of value.
Here comes the question. For pmakfal, the worst case scenario would be a Darkness Crystal from this D-lunar fight. Because him having already faded that Valvalis in the Odin spot, would not be surprised to see him chase Moon. Whereas at this point, we know all our value is on Earth. But it's not. It's a Sand Ruby, which means more than likely, in some way, shape, or form, this Twin Harp check is going to give us a chain to the Darkness Crystal.
Yeah.
And at this point, that honestly might give pmakfal the edge, because whereas Konkers will get the Darkness Crystal from whatever chain this comes from, he still has a choice of, do I keep searching for a Legend Sword, or do I go ahead and complete the Giant of Babel? Whereas
he already has 2
pmakfal,
legends.
yeah, by the time pmakfal has got to that point, he'll have completed 3 objectives, have the crystal at that point, and can just go straight to Threemus.
So,
By the way, we're looking at required music for this seed, so make sure to get your GGs out for Asuka for rolling a required music seed. We love you.
and speaking of music, it's time to hear from DJ Spoony B.
City of Flickering Destruction, Legend of Mana. And Konkers finding Baigen in the Dark Elf spot.
And pmakfal found a Murasame just hanging out on Kokol's bookshelf.
I mean, I always leave all my wonderful ninja swords on my bookshelf, don't you?
Well, my bookshelf is where all the video games
If you wanted to go get some apples in the seed, Coco Shop is for you because it's got both gold and silver ones. And there is our darkness crystal.
Ooh.
So chat pointing out to us that at this point, pmakfal's only rotation left he can really check is that Odin spot down in the Baron basement. So that'll put him on the path to get the darkness and to complete the objectives. So at this point, if Konkers goes straight for that giant, we're going to have a very close race depending on what those bosses are.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting where this one ends up heading.
I will say we still have at least one free boss in that I've not seen the Baron guards anywhere.
That's true.
Life potions, cure 3s, and mute bells in the Kaipo shop. That's a nice little shop.
There's also some potentially nasty bosses we haven't seen yet, because I don't think we've seen Rubicant or Elements.
We have not, nor have we seen CPU. So we could have CPU in Element spot.
That would be something.
I have to admit, if I saw that, I might be tempted to come down and try to check those Fame Arch bosses first before I went that route.
Possibly. Of course, we also know that the Legend Sword is with Lugae.
But yeah, we still have Baron Guards, still have Dark Imps that I don't think we've seen, and we've got these hourglasses that Konkers is about to find in the Evelyn shop. So if you end up with some combination of Dark Imps and Baron Guards in that Giant of Babel, that's not only free, that's your grind.
Yep.
And at this point, Konkers has 10 key items, so we'll be getting double XP from it as well. This one's going to come. It looks like Konkers. Is Konkers going to go take on?
He went back underground.
Oh, it looks like he's going to grind a little bit first before going up to. It's not a bad decision.
Yeah, definitely not a bad choice.
pmakfal gets sued at Valvalis. He's about to be rewarded with that Earth Crystal. Probably going to kick themselves again since Baron has held double value today.
That's assuming that he goes straight for Zot instead of just, well,
he's got to go straight to Zot.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other checks. Yeah, that was all he had left. For some reason, I was thinking he still had Kenatsu, but no, that's where he got that Bahamut. But yeah, no,
Yeah, pmakfal is on a beeline train to complete objectives, and there is absolutely nothing that can derail him at this point. The only question is going to become, once he completes his objectives, gets his crystal, he'll be right there at Troya. Is he going to feel comfortable with his levels to go straight into that Threemus fight, or is he going to want to go do another grind?
Yeah, and that's definitely... Yeah, because, like, once he gets through once he gets that darkness crystal, he's not going to need it because he'll have gotten 3 objectives. So chances are he wouldn't go to the moon just to grind.
No, I would not be surprised at all to see pmakfal not even raise the lunar whale, get that darkness crystal, get that regular crystal, and just be like, I've got to pass. There's sirens available in the Flame March. We're just going to grind and go. Especially now getting that dragon whip again from the treasury. In pmakfal's case, that might actually bump that treasury up to 8 because that's going to make that grind super quick. Rydia with the dragon whip, instant egg scramble.
Yeah. And now he's got both of those legendary swords on his edge. Yeah, this has really been a close and interesting match this entire way.
Yeah, both our runners have taken very different routes to end up in the same pretty much predicament of, I only have one role place I can go here. What do I want to do? We looked at early game where we had pmakfal take the hook route. Konkers dove Baron, got that magma key, ended up with both runners underground at the same time. Both runners in Dwarf Castle at the same time. Both runners flip-flopping, deciding to abandon one check in Top of Tower and Odin's spot and go to the other. And now just on a straight train to finish objectives, get crystals. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So at this point, for Konkers, if we have 3 fights in the Giant, then looking at time-wise to climb the Giant, take the 2 fights, take through that cutscene, including the cutscene to get the crystal. pmakfal has this first fight here in Zot, the second fight, then the flight back up to get to Troya again to go get the Black Chocobo, and the Twin Harp cutscene. Assuming there's 3 fights of the Giant, we could seriously see them getting crystals at the same time, almost, with 3 different objectives to complete per runner.
Yeah, that really comes down to what the Giant bosses end up being and how long it takes Konkers to get through them. Because we know what the bosses are that pmakfal has to do. We know what slots they are. That's less of a variable. He's just kind of like tear through them at this level.
So the other question is going to come for pmakfal. Does he take the Cecil that we know is in the second spot here in Zot?
Yeah, that's... because we still don't have like an idea of what their anchor situation is.
No, he's been grinding everybody, hasn't kept anyone dead, so it could be interesting to see what he decides to do here. Gets rid of Rydia? Yep, gets rid of Rydia. Takes a level 1 Cecil.
He wasn't sure about it, probably because he's been relying on that Bahamut a lot, but he's probably thinking that with this boss slot, he's probably not going to need that, and he's certainly not going to be using Bahamut during the Z fight.
We'll make sure to use Edge to take out that Cecil, preserving that level 1. Konkers, in the meantime, tried to throw an Hourglass on the last arm. Unfortunately, last arm does have the boss bit, so Hourglass not going to do anything. Bahamut, however, will do something and takes out that last arm with no problem. And gets a Masamune.
There's a lot of steel in this seed.
I'm just laughing that both our runners are getting all kind of good gear for their fighters in very different locations.
Yeah.
And neither one of them have been punished at all for failing a check or not checking a certain area, because no matter where they seem to go, they seem to get the same gear.
pmakfal probably really happy to see that twin harp.
I would imagine, because now he knows, hey, I'm in go mode, Giant of Babel, I'm not going to have to complete. And it doesn't really matter what item he gets from Twin Heart, because he'll be in go mode, he's got the pass, he can just go. Now, us knowing that it's Darkness Crystal, that just is going to be a bonus, but might make him feel a little bit behind again once he sees that darkness. Meanwhile, that's a Bahamut in the element spot. That is relatively free if Konkers picked up some more Star Veils. Which it does not look like he did. Oh, no, there they are, 4 of them.
Yeah, I imagine he's probably gonna want to get more, but
Does have fall on his Rosa, though, so that's going to help. But this is something I don't know if Konkers is thinking about. This Bahamut's going to have a very, very high HP pool. You're going to see 2 to 3 Mega Nukes here. One Star Veil is not going to last through all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is gonna last long enough that he's gonna run out of those Star Veils, and his Rosa isn't gonna be able to keep walls up on everyone.
Correct. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets through this fight. If he's going to be able to get through it without being Mega Nuked to death. Meanwhile, pmakfal managing to make sure everyone had iron of some sort equipped to them, gets the instant perish screen, and we'll be quiet to give us our encore of music for tonight. So pmakfal gets the crystal, is now officially in go mode at just shy of an hour 30. Meanwhile, Konkers, unfortunately finding out the Star Veils don't last. Radio's the only one with the wall still up, and we'll have to see how he can recover from this.
Yep, it could end up being a wipe.
Or could take one more Bahamut and be in the Bahamut.
That could also happen. Of course, not getting the grind he would want out of that, because only Rydia's gonna get that experience.
True, but at least that fight is down and there's only one to go. Depending on what it is, that could shape as to how this race is going to finish. Because both of them have done pretty decent grinds, are at pretty decent levels. I think, I want to say low to mid 40s already. So if either of them feel comfortable doing a little bit lower level, okay, mid 40s on pmakfal, mid 40s on Konkers. So Konkers, getting through this fight, depending on how hard it is, would have the edge levels. And that's not free.
Ugh. This is gonna be...
Now, thankfully, the CPU spot has less HP than the element spot, so it's not going to take as long to get through. But it's still not going to be fun.
Yeah, that wall is creeping at a pretty decent pace. It's gonna go for blink strats, it looks like.
Yeah, getting images up on the edges, got blink up on the Rosa. Rydia casting Bahamut's going to definitely take out a lot of HP real fast. Should be able to get through this pretty quickly. But in the meantime, pmakfal is parked outside of Troya, doing a little bit of last-minute shopping and menuing. And I think it's about that time we have a question we usually like to ask.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, there's something... The chat's going wild with a bunch of flags that have a Z and a question mark. Are they asking if it's time for bed?
I was wondering if it's an alphabet question. You know, it's like which language are we going to speak today?
Oh. Wait, no. Butt. There's butts. Something about a butt.
But I'm not thinking of anything. You thinking of anything?
I don't know. What do you do with butts? You kick them, right?
Most of the days.
But whose butt are you going to kick?
So, as we alluded to earlier in the seed, Threemus is a little bit too powerful to randomize with the rest of the bosses in this field. So we leave him alone, but we do something special to him. We randomize his sprite. We have a little over 400 sprites that were created by our wonderful Scala Kitty and our lead designer Boardface. And it's always a fun thing to see what sprite we're going to get. So, in that tradition, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight?
Konkers does get through that evil wall.
And there's our Tella. You want a D-Machine grind? You can't, because it's after the giant. And we have Virgilness. So in the meantime, Konkers completes objective number 3, gets the crystal. Would not be surprised to see him immediately fly that big whale straight up to Troya, use that pass, and join pmakfal in this Z fight.
Oh, he dropped Rydia for the Tella. Probably for an anchor, I would guess.
I would completely agree with that. Rydia does not have nuke yet. No time to really feel like grinding her up to nuke. Just go ahead, drop her here, take Tella as the anchor, and let's go.
He managed to avoid that big bang by being up in the air.
And it's not a bad way to do it if you can time it right. It's just hard to time those jumps to get over those big bangs.
Yeah. It looks like he's just going for berserk strats on both of the edges and jump strats with Kane, while Rosa does white mage stuff.
Again, when you have this type of party, that is not a bad thing to do.
Indeed.
I would not be surprised if we see almost the same exact strategy for the most part coming from Konkers when he gets into this fight.
not sure what equipment pmakfal ended up with on Kane. I know his edges were pretty well stocked. One had the Mura and the Masa.
I believe Kane had a Dragoon Spear that we had found somewhere along the way. I'm not quite sure where. But that was a big roll, big bang. That took both edges out, basically, leaving one at 3 MP, so HP run out on that. That fighting edge did get a last-minute stand-in, though, so...
Yeah, he got the last word in. See if he can pull it back and revive the edges.
Does get Kane back up in the air again over the Big Bang, which is a great thing to see.
And Rosa still alive.
Gets a life 2 on our center edge. We'll get right back into that fight.
Black Hole coming out, but not really doing anything because neither of the edges were Zerk because they, were kind of dead at the time.
And that is a straight nuke coming from Threemus, which means we are already in phase 2. So we are over halfway done with this fight as Konkers is throwing this crystal, entering the fight.
So both runners on Threemus at the same time. This is a close seed.
Yeah, this is not to mention the fact that they took 2 very different routes to get here. pmakfal forging the crystal, whereas Konkers decided to actually complete the Giant of Babel, which was absolutely amazing. GG's to both runners, no matter where they finish in this one. So,
yeah, this was very well played on both sides.
pmakfal managing this fight just right as Rosa queued up with those healings after those big bangs. Gets everybody, at least everybody that's important, back up. Edge is all fighting and attacking and going crazy. Kane ready to jump at a moment's notice.
Cecil taking a nap.
Cecil's doing his best Edward impression today.
And Konkers, Tella doing the same.
pmakfal definitely has the edge here, having entered this fight first, but it is quite honestly still anyone's race here.
Yeah. Konkers used the crystal to trigger a nuke counter to nerf that Big Bang.
So that is rocks coming down on pmakfal's side. That signals that we are in the final phase, and this should all but be over at this point.
Yeah, it is almost GG.
Yep, there it is. There's the crack. There's the boom. Virgil Amiss has been defeated, and pmakfal has won this race. We'll go to 2-1 and into the Magma group. Konkers put up a valiant effort, but unfortunately fall to 1-2 and be regulated down to the hook route. Which is kind of funny considering they did the opposite in this seed.
Kane up in the air, asking if he can come down now.
I really should have kept a count on that, shouldn't I? Because that's what, 5th or 6th time I think this seed?
Yeah.
But final official time of 1:40:16. GG's out in chat. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview. the meantime, on Konker's side, still in phase 1 as we see the virus come out, but this fight has gone a little sideways for him.
Yeah, he's not been keeping that cane up very well.
Yeah, still has everybody up and going, but noticeably a little bit lower level on the edge, at least at top edge. And that cane, I don't think, has very good magic defense gear, so taking full brunt force of those big bangs.
Also, chat pointing out that pmakfal had 14 KIs without ever even touching the moon. And Konkers, I believe, is just 1 key item short because no, 2 key items less because he didn't do the Fey March bosses.
That would be correct. So this is one of those seeds that Moon 100% haunted. That was a big bang there, taking down everybody but Rosa and Kane on Konker's side. He's doing his best to try to get us back up, but
Yeah, it's definitely taking up some time, but with the constant stream of Cure 4s that Rosa's throwing out and the life potions, he's got the team pretty much back up and ready.
and I believe we are joined by pmakfal. GG's on your first place victory.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Sorry, let me adjust volume here. I was listening to the Twin Heart music. It's nice and relaxing. Sad, but nice. I like it. It's a sad one. So, who rolled this seed?
That would be our restreamer Asuka. How do you feel about this one?
That was a rude seed. that was that was rude. Yeah, I go up ordeals, get the Baron key, and I'm like, man, I could do Baron, or I could do the hook, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do the hook. And then when I finally do Baron, I'm like, Magma key, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what our first question was. What did you feel? What was your thought when you saw that Magma key in Baron?
Oh, head hit the desk. Boom. So, but going through the Evelyn Cave, it wasn't too bad. And I did get some equipment. I think I found the Dragoon Spear in there. I can't remember where I found that, but I did find some stuff that helped me. And plus the shop had Hourglass, which was nice.
I believe that you did find that Dragoon Spear down in Evelyn. I know Konkers does not have the Dragoon Spear, never found it, so pretty safe bet that's where you got it from.
I think I got it from the Mad Ogre chest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it was. The Mad Ogre fight. Which I got the... I almost missed a life glitch. I was sitting there and I was like, hit the button! And I almost missed it, but I got it.
This scene was definitely an interesting one. Even with you doing the hook route, you and Konkers actually both got underground at the same time. Him with that magma key, you doing the hook route. Decided to kind of both take on Dwarf Castle at the same time. And then actually switch spots. He went to top of tower first, whereas you went to Odin's spot. And then both of you reset out and switched spots and took out the rough spot there.
Nice.
Unfortunately for Konkers, he never did the Fame Arch bosses, so he never got the Legend Sword. He ended up getting that darkness from the Twin Heart spot and took on the Giant of Babel, which wasn't too bad. It was Bahamut and Evil Wall.
Yeah, the Evil Wall was the second one.
Yes, Evil Wall was in this.
That's not too bad. Evil Wall at the element spot's a pain in the butt. But and then Bahamut, you got Starveils. It's and then look at me going up ordeals, and I'm realized I'd used both Starveils in that Wyvern fight. So I'm like, oh crap, I've got one. Please don't kill yourself, Ashura.
Yeah, I did like how both of you did ordeals with no Tella, no Cecil in sight. So that was actually a very great play by both runners.
Yeah, and my thought was go ahead and do it, because if it was still early, if I find Tella, I can hang on to him. If I find Cecil, I can hang on to him until he's useful. So I got to have a dirt nap Cecil for a bit, so it was fun. He slept the whole end of the game.
Well, just so you know, we did find Atella. He was behind Giant.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Cecil and Tella came into the scene pretty late because Cecil was up the Zon spot, and Tella again, Giant of Babel. So
I felt bad dishing Rydia. She carried me through some of that with that Bahamut spell. Finding Bahamut at the top of tower was helpful.
Ask you this: finding that Bahamut there, and then finding the free one in the Troya Treasury. What was your thought there?
When I found it in there, I'm like, yeah, if there's something, because I didn't think I checked the chest in Troya town or the shops. So I was like, well, I can sell it and maybe buy some stuff. Although I wasn't hurting for money at all anyway. I'd also considered going. I almost went to the moon to see if they had Bacchus up there, but then I said nah. So this was for me, almost 17 out of 17 seed, almost. It had never, and I never raised a lunar well.
Yeah, you had 14 KIs and never even went up to the moon. That was a ridiculous number of key items on Earth.
Well, every check I thought, every one I thought was like, okay, this is gonna be Darkness Crystal, and then no, okay, well, it was a sort of a fetch quest, and then this is gonna lead to Darkness Crystal. No, then I thought for sure Twin Harp. I mean, not Twin Harp. I thought for sure Zot was gonna lead to Darkness Crystal, and it led to Twin Harp. So, or no, other way around. Wait, I forget.
Yeah, Zot led to
Twin
Zot
Harp. Had Twin Harp.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so Earth Crystal was on the Odin spot, right? Which
Earth Crystal, Odin spot, which was a Valvalis, which led you to Twin Heart, which led you to Darkness.
Right, that's right. There we go. Okay, sorry. When I saw Val at the Odin spot, when I checked it earlier, I was like, oh no. But it wasn't as bad as I expected.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything kind of stemmed through that Val, the entire sequence of events, and you ended up getting down to the point where that was all you had left, was that Valvalis spot, which led you to Zot, which led you to Twin Heart, which led you to Go Mode.
Yep. And the Dr. Luge spot's not too bad. He talks a lot. It's kind of slow. I actually, and I'm really glad I didn't, but I actually almost reset out of the Golbez fight and said I'll come back if I find a Teller or Cecil. And I'm glad I didn't, because then I had to go back up and.
Yeah, all kind of value in Baron today.
Yep. And you're welcome for the roller coaster of emotions in that Zeromus fight. It's like, oh, we're good. Oh no, we're not good. Oh, we're maybe okay. Oh no, it's terrible. And then we finally got back. When I realized Rosa had 83 MP left and I had no ethers or any way of restoring it, I was like, uh-oh.
You got through. It might have been a little harrowing there at the end, but you got through it. It was a great showing. Getting those canes jumping those big bangs, though, was an absolute beautiful touch and very well done.
Yeah, I was afraid I was gonna mistime it, but I managed to pull that one off, and still trying to figure out how I did it. But I don't ask questions. I just wing it.
Well, one question I do want to ask, and I wish I had kept an official count. How many times do we think you ended a battle with Kane just sitting in the air?
Oh yeah, a lot. Because I jump him up, and then next thing I know, somebody else finished the fight, and I'm like, oh well, I hope he comes down someday.
Yeah, I think the best was when you finished Zeromus with him up in the air, and it's just like, like everyone's celebrating, Kane's just floating off into space somewhere.
Yep. I was so thankful to see Meteo come down there because I had enough for one more Cure 4.
I actually want to imagine Kane's like, moon gravity's a little bit more than I thought, guys. Help.
Yeah. My people need me. I must be off. So, but it was fun. It's definitely different from the seed I played last night. Last night with Moonblaze, it was an extremely jetty seed. So this was night and day. This was not a jetty seed. This was do all the things.
But it was just like that. When you got to that one point, there was just the chain of required stuff.
Yeah, as I saw that the Land of Summon Monsters bosses and Odin spot was looking like it was going to be required, I was like, oh no. Here we go.
I mean, at least the D-Lunars there in that Queen spot were nicer than it would have been if it had been Ogopogo. Because honestly, I think we were in the commentator booths were rooting for Ogopogo.
Yeah, Ogopogo would have been a pain, but I don't still think not as bad. I mean, not the worst. I was happy when I saw that Plague and Wyvern and were out of the equation because it's a pretty quick spot if I'm not mistaken, and Plague is a pain in the butt there.
Well, D-Dark Catcher, do you have any more questions? I think we're about done.
Yeah, I think we've covered it pretty well.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry, trying to just kind of catch my breath after that one. But music required, so everyone's happy, right?
Oh yeah, we're all happy.
Or was music required? Yeah. Well, could have, sort of.
Yeah, because you couldn't have completed 3 objectives without it,
Right.
because you got
Oh,
the
yeah.
Darkness Crystal.
There you go. Yeah. So music required, so everybody wins.
GG's on your victory. Congratulations on moving to 2-1, getting into that Magma group. I know personally, since I'm in that Magma group, I don't look forward to facing you at some point in there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Racing's fun. I have a blast with this. As I said last night, I played a bit back in the first highway to the Zima Zone. I never made it past the qualifier rounds, but that's when I was playing. And it's really coming back to this has really been interesting to see what everyone sort of learned, all the new additions, all the sort of tweaks, the optimizations that everyone's put in there. It's pretty exciting. So I'm having a lot of fun.
We definitely enjoyed watching you race. You put on a great show. GG's again. Take some time, enjoy this victory, and we'll see you in a couple weeks once we get the Magma round and the Hook round started.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your commentary. And was it Bad Karma? Tracking, Asuka. Asuka, thank you for restreaming. I'm not really going to thank you for rolling the seed. That was one of those. I'd seen people talking. I think it was Asuka seeds. Were like, oh, it's going to be. So when I saw Asuka was rolling, I was like, oh, great. Fantastic. So.
All our restreamers for this tournament seem to be getting types of seeds they keep getting, and she's definitely got a type, which is definitely an interesting type.
Well, it was fun. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hop out. Tell Konkers GG from me. when he's in, I'll send him a message as well. But thank you all, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Have a good night. In the meantime, Konkers did take an unfortunate wipe. Having already seen the dot done, did decide to go back, grab some more sirens, or use some of the had his inventory and grind a little bit more. Going to make a second run at this aroma, see if we can go ahead and get this seed completed. And also, while we were having our interview, welcome on in to our friends coming from the race on Randomania 3. Do want to please remind you, do not spoil the race you just came from. There are some people who would like to go back and watch it. But we are glad you're here to see the end of this one. It was a very, very close race, all things considered. Runners really went two different paths and all ended up in the same exact place, with a very interesting chain of events to lead us to go mode. Definitely one I recommend you go back and watch the whole way through.
Yeah, it looks like Konkers is leaning on those Zerg strats, with Rosa being a backup white mage.
Definitely not a bad strategy. Keeping, again, Rosa zerking and then healing. Got that Kane. Edge is doing pretty much 2k damage almost per swing. Again, that Edge doing about almost 35. Should be able to tear through this HP with no problem.
Of course, the downside to doing pretty much entirely Zerg strats is you're not doing much to nerf the big bangs that are coming out, so those are rolling a bit on the higher side.
Very true, but with that little bit of extra grinding, got that edge from the 1900 HP range to 2400. Should be able to survive those big bangs, no problem. Rosa casting clear forwards, getting everybody back up. Should be able to get through it this time.
Yeah, as long as they're surviving the big bangs and able to heal up, then
Yeah, Konkers just pumping out the damage here. Has Rosa just waiting for any type of big bang or anything to queue up a Cure 4. This one shouldn't be too much longer.
yeah. It's a pretty standard Z strat. Oh, and there's those rocks, so we're getting close.
There's the crack boom. There's Romus going down, and Konkers has finished his seed. Get GG's on chat. We'll see about getting an official time here in just a second.
Yep, GG.
I would see an official time of 2 hours, 1 minute, 55 seconds. And I believe we are joined by Konkers. GG's on beating the seed.
Thank you. That was a rocky end there. Is my voice coming through here?
Yeah.
We hear you just
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of PMA's interview at the end, and I was cracking up when I heard that they ran out of MP2 at the end, but just barely held out longer than I did.
Seed seemed to just want to give and take and do more taking and really lead you down a very interesting path.
Yeah, it was what was it, Baron in?
Demon?
Oh, the hook.
Oh, my comfort now.
Yeah, that was the route to the hook. And so I tried that right away and reset out of that and was glad to have gotten the magma key. Otherwise, I probably would have dived the hook.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend going back and watching this race because pmakfal actually did do the hook route. He did not do Baron before trying to go underground. And he launched a Falcon at the same time you were dropping the magma key.
That's funny.
Yeah,
It's quite a few moments.
Y'all went in different paths, but we're still very close the whole time. It was really great.
Yeah, when I got that dot done from him in my Z fight, I was like, "Ooh, wow!" But yeah, I was cutting it a little tight going in, knowing that I might have a chance to win. I didn't go shopping again afterwards or beforehand. And then when I was already lost, I was like, "All right, let's go get those ninja swords and the strength rings and level up a little bit and make it easy." Or so I thought until the second reset.
Yeah, but third time's a charm, and you did, really well on all the attempts.
Yeah. That second time I was just didn't get the rhythm right, and the third time I got the rhythm, I got the Zerks up, and then the game just played itself.
Sometimes that's just all you need because with the damage you were putting out, once you got into that rhythm, you were good to go.
Oh yeah. That was a nice way to end it, at least.
So one thing I want to point out that we found quite hilarious is you went up to Keyless Tower, found that Kanazo, and took a wipe on him. Decided to forego that and head down to Baron Inn. Or sorry, not Baron Inn, but Odin Spot, Baron Basement. At the same time that was happening, your opponent was taking on Baron Basement, decided to nope out of it and go to Kanazo atop the tower.
Oh, that's ripe. Yeah, I was that was kind of a little bit of a clincher of a fight, that Vow. But there's one where I seem to have had the rhythm, so I was just going to try and ride it out, and was justly rewarded. I'm curious. Did I saw that they had the Legend Sword? Did they forego the Giant?
Correct. They forged. They got their crystal by defeating Twin Harp.
Yeah, that'll save some time. I also lost a bunch of XP because I ended the Elements fight against Bahamut with everyone but Rydia on the floor. I was hoping that would give me the little bit of extra XP and leveling going into the Z fight. And I think I probably would have been okay on the first one had I gotten that. Was it 200,000 ish?
Yeah, like you had 10
Yeah.
items, so that would have been 200,000 EXP.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not quite as much as those last eggs I popped. but
Yeah, because
not
as,
far
as
off.
you were going into the giants, we were just kind of like, it'll take a bit of time, but it'll also kind of take the place of any grinding you'll need to do. And then you ended that fight with just Rydia, and it was like, well,
Yeah, it was a tough choice of whether or not to grind more before going into Zeromus. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have really mattered since PMA got through the fight before me, even while I was still alive. So anyway, it was a good game, and I look forward to doing some more in the Hook group.
It was a very, very close match. It could have gone either way, really, at the end, with both
Yeah.
you and me fight at the same time. Even taking two very different paths, coming together and putting on a great show. It was a joy to watch and joy to commentate. So definitely GG's to you.
yeah, it was
Well,
super exciting.
awesome. Well, thank you to you both, and to the restreamer and the tracker for giving us a venue to have fun and play this game.
For you for putting on the show. We look forward to seeing you go through that hook route and hopefully get you on screen a couple more times.
All right, thanks. Have a great night.
You rockers, GG's. So that's going to about wrap us up for tonight. You got any final thoughts, D-John Ketchup, before we head off on the raid?
Just this is one of those seeds that's like, just you can't believe it. So thanks for that one, Nausicaa.
Yeah, this one had the nice little chain of events leading to all your objectives. Was very fun to watch. And if you've enjoyed this or enjoyed any of our races, definitely make sure to give our runners a follow. They are out here putting on this show for you. Come join us on the Discord if you're interested in playing. We are always welcoming of new players. We are very friendly. We give as much advice as you are willing to take. We'd love to see you in the Discord.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of free enterprise action. There's still more group stage, still more group stage matches coming up.
Yeah, as
This
a matter
week.
of fact, we have 3 races tomorrow on the docket, and I actually had them pulled up. So we've got at noon Eastern time on the Free Enterprise channel, which is this channel right here, have Antidale taking on Ike. At 4 p.m. Eastern on RPG Limit Break, who has been wonderful partnered with us for this, we've got Baka Shinobi taking on Commander Leonhardt. And then 10 p.m. Eastern time, another nightcap here on Free Enterprise, Gaming with a Wraith versus Neon Gray. So 3 more restream matches, as well as a ton of other ones that are not getting restream treatment, but you can still go check out. Check out again on the Discord in our League General page. You can see all the matches that are scheduled.
And you can also check out the Free Enterprise YouTube channel, because they've been putting up all the broadcasted matches, all the restream matches from all the channels, not just the Free Enterprise channel, but the ones that are being done on Randomania, etc. They're all getting put up there. There's a lot of them. They've got lots of older, matches. There's a lot to watch. So if you want to learn just about anything about the game, you've got plenty of stuff that you can watch on that YouTube channel.
And while we're plugging things, one last plug for our Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter and see anytime we have a match that goes live. We usually have our wonderful Scholar tweeting it out, so you can definitely toss a follow there and keep track. At this point, we are going to go send a raid off to a good friend of our community, Lore Master Motos, who is doing a Free Enterprise seed, except doing it opposite of Zima's own flags. He's actually doing a all-foo seed.
Oh my gosh.
So even though we don't see Fu in this flag set, Lord Master Motos has said, hey, I want to see some Fus. We're going to have small Fus. So let's go give Lord Master Motos some love. Y'all have a great, wonderful rest of the night. On behalf of the retired Restream team, Oscar doing Restream, Bad Karma on tracking, my lovely co-commentator, Dijon Ketchup, I've been Gameit017. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Good night.